My topic, I think, as you guys have sort of already guessed, is what
Have not guessed it.
was the first movie that made you cry? That you remember that made you cry?
Oh.
Or got teary or whatever, or sort of whatever.
You saved this one just for Caitlin, didn't you?
I did not. I saved it. I wanted everyone to answer this question.
I love it.
I would struggle to
I don't
think
know if
of the
Caitlin's a
first
baby or
one.
not. Do you cry a lot? in movies?
I do, but the things that always get me are like the kids' movies that you don't really need to cry in, but I'll just like let out all the emotions. Like I watched The Good Dinosaur. Have you seen that?
I have seen that, yeah.
Shit.
And
Oh,
I
really?
was just
Not
like
being that
so
good.
sad.
Really?
Yeah.
Because, you mean like at the start?
No,
when-
at the
fucking
end when he
sad,
has
man.
to say goodbye to the little boy and they're like besties.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, but
Not when the dad dies. No one
That
really
movie-
cares
no.
there.
That,
Well, that was just like, it just felt very Lion King-y, I guess. I was like, this is very Lion King-y. And that sort of took me out of it.
Enjoy it.
It
They
was
said that.
breeze
didn't
over
they?
it.
just,
Easy
yeah,
breezy.
I'm with you. Just enjoy it. It was cute.
Until it gets really sad.
And just cry.
So
No.
what was the first one for you then?
Well, first one that I can remember is probably Sister of the Travelling Pants.
What?
Oh,
I've not
sad
seen
film?
it. Is it sad?
yes,
I thought it was
is
like
a sad
a kid
film.
comedy, like a fun...
It is.
I've no
it
idea.
does get sad.
It's got a
doesn't it?
very young Blake Lively in it.
Ooh,
Oh, I thought it was British. Wait, what am I thinking?
No.
I should watch that.
And it's one of the girls, like, on her semester break, meets this other young girl that has cancer and she dies.
Jeez.
So, it sounds really dark. It's not that dark. Like, it's just a...
But there's like, because it's like 4 stories, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
the 4 girls.
the
So
4
like some of
girls
them are like
go away.
funny. One of them has like a romance.
Yeah, that's right. And then one of them has a really, like, serious, sad time.
Yeah.
So that made me cry. But yes, that's probably the first one I remember.
The first one you remember.
Since then, yeah, all the kids ones get me.
Yeah,
I don't know
animated
why.
stuff. Animated stuff's... I mean, Felix, what about you?
So I've been at a couple of parties now where we've somehow gotten onto the topic of movies that make you cry.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I will say Up, and I'll have always at least one other person. That was the first movie that made me cry. I will always have at least one other person that was like, holy shit, me too. It's
Yeah,
Like
that
most
was-
people was just like, oh, isn't that just a movie about people in a balloon?
that is really
But
sad.
fuck, man, like I think I can't remember if it's the beginning
in
of
the
the
It's
end.
that first
The
10
beginning.
minutes.
Is
Yeah.
it the
First
beginning?
10 minutes.
Where there's
Yeah.
just this amazing montage.
Yep.
It's fucking intense, and
I
you
think-
Yeah,
I
all the feels.
cried in that as
I was
well.
like a normal kid too. Like I wasn't very
Well,
deeply
I didn't watch
thinking
it in
about it
cinemas.
either.
I was a grown man when I
on the
watched
surface,
it.
on the surface, it made me cry. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even have to think about it.
I think I cried like maybe on a later viewing because in the cinema I remember like I think I was just like I didn't quite realize what was happening, like you know what I mean,
Yeah.
like because you go into this film wanting to have fun and then it's just like really like sad and depressing and I'm just like I think I had that face like what did I
What's
sign up
happening?
for? It's like I guess I
She
wasn't
like
even
can't
into
have
you.
kids, and then she dies, and it's like, oh,
yeah, but it was like I
Yeah.
didn't realize like you're like meant to cry, like you're allowed to cry. I think I just had like
Yeah.
this weird sort of reaction to it, being like, this isn't what I signed up for. And you're like, you're kind of like, is this meant to be really depressing? Like, it's like, yeah.
You
and
still
then,
got a smile on your face.
no, it's
Yeah.
just like this face of like confusion, I think. Because you just like some
It is
movies,
confusing, yeah.
when they shift the tone on you like that, but animated movies, there's a lot of stuff like that, yeah.
It was
Like
only 8 years ago Up that came out.
2009, I believe, yeah.
So what about you
But
guys?
that's
I
real
don't know if I
sad.
can remember the first one, but I think one of the earlier ones was probably Red Dog.
Oh,
Because one's
that
with
wasn't even
dogs.
that long ago.
Marley and Me.
Well, I was going to say Marley and Me. I can't remember
The
if
dog
I've-
ones always
Red
get
Dog
me.
was
Yeah.
like 6 years ago.
Yeah. But it's also like a mood thing. Like, I watch kids movies all the
Definitely.
time. I almost cried in Ninjago because I was like way overtired. And there was
Yeah.
like a moment where all the kids were like being supportive of each other, and they were like, "We can do it. We can work
Oh, like
together." And I was
beautiful
like,
cry.
That's so mean.
But I
you,
was
little
really
Lego
tired.
people.
Like again,
Yeah.
I think I had like bawled in Lego Batman just for like for 2 minutes. I was like, "Oh my
Which
god!"
part of, wow.
But like I just
Yeah.
cry at stupid stuff
Yeah.
if I'm tired.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, you and me both. But I was
Whereas-
watching Survivor last night and I cried. Like, they all got letters. No, 2 of them had a call to the
Oh, the
family.
TV show. Okay,
yeah, you know when they
yeah.
have it, they're all away, and like a lot of shows do it, and they have a call home.
Yeah.
And then I was just like bawling. I'm like, ah. So that's just like, if you're in the right mood, anything can get you, I reckon.
Yeah.
Well, the
If
one
you're in
I've
the mood.
cried the
you're in
most
the
for was A Monster Calls, which I watched
Yeah.
earlier this year.
More than we
And-
cried at Lion. Wait, we were all there at Lion.
Oh,
Lion! We
Lion!
were bawling for like 10 minutes after Lion.
Did I watch Lion with you guys?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one about the young Indian boy who goes home. and finds
like when
his
he
mum.
finds- like-
I was just wondering if I remembered watching it with you guys, but I
It's
didn't
like
remember
when he
crying, but-
finally like
Yeah, can-
finds the mum
do
and they
remember you
embrace,
guys
and it was
crying.
like you finally could take a breath, and then like it was just like we were all just like hysterically crying, like sobbing, like
We were
That was really
sobbing.
sad.
Ugly cry.
it was like
It was ugly
it was like
cry.
I think I got this. It was like
Hold me.
I mean, because I was like with me. Okay, so I like never cried at anything really, and then
What? You
the
cry
first-
all the time.
I'll get there.
You're an emotional dude.
We
I'll
watched
get there.
Your Name recently, which is that anime about the boy and girl that swap bodies, and the lights came on, and I was like, well, that was pretty good. And I looked over, and Jack's just like,
It's so good. Well, okay.
why did they
That's
kiss
so
together?
Here's why. I'm going to explain why this
All right,
happened.
okay.
Okay, so the earliest memory I remember, I remember getting teary-eyed at Moulin Rouge, like at the end, like when Nicole Kidman's
Yeah.
character
Oh,
dies,
yeah, okay.
and Ewan McGregor's like really sad. And I remember feeling something. I was kind of like, oh, that's really sad, and like I was like kind of teary.
The first time you had that
Didn't
emotion, you're
cry
like,
though.
"What
Yeah,
is this?"
exactly. Yeah. I was like, oh, get it off me.
My
yeah.
eyes are leaking.
I'm like, yeah. Weird.
It's so salty.
But there was a little movie, you may have heard of it, that came out in 2010 called Toy Story 3.
Aww.
That fucking
little
movie.
bitch.
That movie broke
they're
something
holding
inside me. No.
In the first.
Everyone's like, oh, the suicide pact part. I'm like, no, that wasn't sad. That wasn't sad to me.
Yeah, suicide pact, whatever.
Never heard it
No, 'cause it
referred to
wasn't
as a
sad. It wasn't
suicide
Wait
sad
for the
me.
part that made him cry.
It wasn't
though.
sad. That
I know
wasn't
where
sad.
this is
That
going.
wasn't sad for me because I knew they were going to be okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're not going to end a movie there. Although there is a funny video online of someone has edited that's how it ends, and he showed his mum that, and it's like literally like they all hold hands, and then it goes. Like in the credits come up, it's like you got a friend in me. And the mum just turns to the kid like, what? She's so confused. No, the part that gets me is at the very. The part that gets me is
When
at
he
the
gives the
very end
toys.
where he gives the toys away, and they have that little montage of them playing. It's a happy sound.
Oh, okay, yeah,
But
yeah.
this,
You're allowed to
the
cry, though.
part where I remember gasping was like Bonnie's like she sees Woody in the box, and Andy's like, "How did Woody get in there?" And then she goes to get Woody, and he just like he goes like that,
Yeah.
like he just like without even thinking of it, he's like, "No, he's mine." And then he's like, "Did I just do that? I'm a grown man." And then
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh God!" And then he's like playing with like all his toys, and then she makes Woody wave at the end, and then Andy's like, I'm gonna kiss this right now. I'm like,
So am I. You explaining it to
and
me.
he's like, so long, partner. And I was just like, it just broke something in me because I was the same age as Andy in that movie, and I was like crying, and we were with. It was funny because we were all like 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds, and we were all in this big line. Like there was more people our age than there were like younger
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
And one of my friends, he kind of joked. He was just like, "It's really sad, right, guys?" And then I was like, "Yeah." And then everyone's like, "Wait, are you actually crying?" And I was like, "No." And then everyone's like, "Oh, Jack," and they all like came over and like, "Jack, you okay?" And I was just like,
You do make
really
a good point
crying.
though with the happy crying because
Yeah.
there are so many movies that like the cute moment between the mum and dad or the kids or the friends that I'm like, but then there's a different sort of cry for
There
that
is.
like
I think-
genuinely like the lion sort of cry.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, I think I
Yeah.
honestly do cry more with the happy stuff. I
Yeah.
think it's like this release. I
Yeah.
think it's like you've gone through all this shit. Because honestly, after Toy Story 3, I'll cry at anything.
Yeah.
Like anything. Like
Oh, so it's broke you like that.
it broke me
like,
like that. I was
breaks
like,
the
never
seal.
cried. And then Toy Story was like, wham! I was like, whoa, you and cry forever, bitch. Pixar's like, let me taste your tears. And now it's like, Your Name, like when they finally like got together and stuff like that. Like
Like at the end
Tangled.
of Tangled.
Tangled, yes.
Oh.
When he cuts the hair off and like that whole scene's really dramatic, and then like they're sort of crying and like
family.
Flynn's dead. I'm like, are they really gonna kill Flynn? Are they really gonna kill Flynn? And I was like getting like worked up, and then like she saves him, and then she's like, Flynn, are you there? And he's like, did I ever tell you I've got a thing for brunettes? I was like, you bastard.
You slimy dog.
yeah. You like want to slap him and then like make out. Or, like I'm pretty sure that's happens in Rapunzel. But I'm trying to think what else like gets me as well.
Did you cry in Frozen?
No.
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 Neither did I.
Oh, I think I might have, yeah.
Your Name. I'm trying to think what I've seen recently. The Last Airbender TV show, that gets me sometimes.
Aw.
Like
Which
Legend,
scene?
just the whole thing. Honestly,
whole thing.
honestly, I'm so attached to that show that I was showing Kat some episodes, and I was just thinking about the show, and I honestly felt this wave of emotion come over Ralph, and I was just gonna start bawling because I love that show so much, and the finale is so powerful. But then also the season finale of Legend of Korra, where, without spoiling it, she meets someone.
The last season finale.
The season 1 finale. She meets someone, and it's a big moment.
That was
and I
ages
just
ago. You
I
can
cried.
ruin that if you want.
Spoiler.
Wow.
I think I've seen season 1 of that.
Yeah, a lot of animated stuff, I would say.
That's a good question.
I feel like I probably got teary at Wreck-It Ralph. Like, you know, where he's
yeah.
like flying down, and he's like, I'm not good, but that's, oh no, I'm bad, and that's good, and I'm not good, and that's bad.
When he's
that's
saying
okay,
the motto or whatever.
Yeah.
And the little girl is cute in that too.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though Sarah Silverman's kind of annoying. She's like got a good voice for...
Yeah.
I think I cried
She's
in
in
an
Bob's
episode
Burgers.
of Bob's Burgers, yeah.
Oh, really?
Which made me think of it. Because the girl who does Louise, yeah, she's so funny.
There's a TV stuff. I mean, with animated stuff specifically, like, I think because it like kids love it because it is so expressive and emotional. You know, the big eyes,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like big smiles and big
Fun,
laughs.
yeah.
But that also means big sadness as well, like
Yeah.
big sad eyes, like Rapunzel's huge eyes when they well up with tears and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It gets you
Aw.
because you can read the emotion so clearly, and so you empathize with it so much as well.
And when
Ooh.
the sidekicks get all emotional too, like the little chameleon is like all sad, and it's just
The little
Oh,
pets
Guardians!
Get sad.
Guardians too.
The
I think I
pets
got a
get
little.
sad.
I think I got a bit teary at Guardians too, actually, when Yondu dies. Spoiler for
Oh,
Guardians 2.
yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Just that whole
He
scene,
may be
like-
your father, but he ain't your daddy.
Yeah. Oh, that was cute.
Yeah, that was like a sweet ending. Ooh,
Yeah.
it got an Emmy It won the Emmy. San Junipero episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, yeah, I
was
saw
phenomenal.
that.
I that broke me as well. I get like
Is that
again,
the-
I was just like crying. I was
They
like,
seen that
go
one.
into like a kind of like a database or something, and they're like living inside different.
I don't want to say, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not gonna
That-
ruin it.
Well, part of the episode is figuring out what the hell is going on.
You're
You're
true.
like, are they in the
You're
past?
true.
Or like, are they time travelers? And then like you just sort of watch it, but like, that
That
show's
shit
really
fucks
good.
you up. I can
Black
picture
Mirror-
Have you binged? Have you ever
I
watched
can
Black Mirror?
picture a lot of
Okay.
people
It's
crying.
so hard.
I can only
to
do an
binge.
episode.
I love
like,
to
at one
torture
time.
myself.
I could do like one
Yeah.
episode a year.
Really sad.
It just like breaks my mind every time
I
I do
keep
it.
meaning to finish the season, and then I'm sort of like, I don't really feel like being
I've seen like
depressed
2 from
tonight.
each
Like,
season.
yeah, like I'll just watch like Bob's Burgers or something, like something
Yeah.
funny, whatever. Yeah.
I remember the first one I watched was one where like the president has to like bang a pig to save
That's the
the
very
nation.
first episode.
Yeah, because I
It's
was gonna watch it in order, and I
Yeah.
like got through that, and I
It's
was
sort
like,
of like scenario based. Like
Yeah.
it's like
It's
sort of
so
moral
high
dilemmas.
concept. It's
yeah, very high.
amazing.
So like the
They're
first
not
episode
very
is like
connected to each other. Yeah. So
yeah,
Okay,
you can
yeah.
watch
Watch
it
a
and then
one-off,
both
yeah.
series, yeah. But there's like, yeah, they do like weird sort of dystopian futures. Like there's one that's like you rate everybody has a rating. Like you don't rate the things, you rate people. And so
Yeah.
they're like she's only a 4, like or she's only like a 3. Don't touch the
and there's
3.
like clubs and stuff you can't get
Yeah.
into. There's like different cues for like different.
Yeah, like if you're a 5, you can get like everywhere or whatever. There's a community episode like that too, actually, which is really good. The Meow Meow Beans.
yeah.
And
Which is
they
scary
all rate
because
them,
like
yeah.
it makes you think that we're like close to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
pretty
that's
much.
that's the scary thing about Black Mirror is it's kind of like we're one bad day away from a lot
Yeah,
of these
yep.
scenarios.
Yeah.
Tremendous
Wow.
show.
It is a great
seen
So
all of it?
creative. I've not because
seen,
like I
like,
said, I
2
can't
from
I
each
can only
season.
stomach like
You gotta
one,
keep them 12
one a
months
week.
apart. Yeah.
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 It's like I watched all 13 or 16 of them. in
That's
about-
How you
in about
got
4
broken
days.
as a
Did you
man?
cry
Like,
during
I
13
watched all
Reasons
of
Why?
13 Reasons Why. I watched that all in 2 days. I spent like I think it was 8 hours.
And then nobody
watching-
saw him for 2 weeks.
Jesus
Yeah, did you
Christ,
cry?
that shit was fucked up. I was watching until like 7 o'clock in the morning, so I was overtired, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't cry. I didn't cry.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the lamest thing that I cried at.
The lamest thing.
Like the thing
I feel
that's
like Lego
really
Ninjago's probably taken
that
that
is
title.
up there. That movie, yeah. Anyway.
There was like this short scene, like, because it's such a stupid movie. There's like
It
this
wa- yeah,
short
it was,
scene
like,
where it's
too
like
stupid.
kind of emotional. I was like, oh shit, I should have slept last night. I was like,
You just
oh,
thought
no.
about like all the decisions you've made in life. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's probably enough of the teary topics.
Yeah.
I think maybe wrap it up.
Thank God we
Line
did-
was
wait,
fun
that's-
just because
was
we
that
were
our last
all at
topic?
line. I think.
No, we got
Yeah.
one more. We got one more.
Yeah.
Line.
Yeah, that's me. Bloody Toy Story 3 just like broke me.
Line was probably the one where we all cried together.
Yeah.
That's probably the most I have cried. Like that was just like sobbing.
Well, if
And
we
it
do
was
the most I've
it was
cried,
like, I think I've got it together, and then I just like I had a flash of like the scene. You're like, like it's just like
The emotions.
like,
The most I've
That's
ever cried in a
insane.
film was A Monster Calls, which I know I mentioned before, but it's about a young boy and he's
on my
going
list.
through like a really like
Yeah.
difficult thing with like his mum. I won't give spoilers, but there's like this guardian sort of tree thing that he's like, it's really strong with the metaphors, I guess.
Yeah.
And I've read the book, so I thought I'd be okay in the movie. But I was watching the movie and it was worse because I knew what was coming. So I was like curled up on the couch and like probably like the 50% of the way through, I started like sobbing like those heavy like,
yeah.
and I was like that until the end of the film. So like almost 45 minutes, I would like wipe my eyes and then the kid would he would like
Are you
get
crying out
sad
Are you
on the...
crying?
you getting
I
teared up
was
now?
like, man,
I
I
wanna
cried
watch
for like
it.
over
This
half
is
an
me
hour.
fucking
Since you
dehydrated
told me
after
that.
45 minutes of crying.
Genuinely,
Since
I
you-
was
yeah.
like dehydrated.
I mean, it's on my list now since you said
Yeah,
you said that. Like, I
definitely.
think it's showing at the deck chair.
It
I'm
is,
on
yeah. I'm
Calls.
probably going to go again.
It's on Netflix.
BoJack Horseman season 4. I got teary at the end. Have you seen the new?
I haven't
newest
seen the
season?
new season.
Basically, they end that finale on like a really good note, or like a really cool note. They just kind of like recontextualize the whole season, and I was like I'm not sure if I cried. Actually, I think I was just more like.
Well, that
wow,
show
just, like,
always like
emotionally,
it's emotional,
stricken.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because that show
Something
you
like
don't
that.
expect it. It's like this Will Arnett weird comedy where everyone's
Yeah.
an animal, and like half the show is animal puns, and the other half is like just
really serious
depression.
depression. Yeah.
Isn't that sort of what
Existentialist
Rick and
crisis.
Morty's like, though?
Rick
Hits
and
you with
Morty's
those.
different.
Similar in ways, but very different in other
Yeah.
ways. Like there is like Rick is like very depressed in some episodes, and there's very dark things. But
Yeah.
it's also like
It's kind of
it's
more
more-
subtle, but it's also like it's more ironic. I guess.
Yeah, okay.
They're more trying to make fun of it,
Yeah,
of
it kind
these
of.
ideas, instead of BoJack Horseman is like trying to make you
Think
really
about 'em.
freak out.
Yeah,
Right.
BoJack Horseman is like genuinely like
well, I think BoJack.
depressing.
Yeah, BoJack. It's
Oh.
like he's depressed, but it's like it's relatable. Whereas like Rick and Morty, it's like he's depressed, but it's like because everything in that show is so heightened and crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's like everything's like a crazy level sort
Yeah.
of thing. If that makes sense. Like Rick tries to kill himself with like some like crazy ray gun. Like it's always like quite over the top.
Yeah.
Even though there are like themes and
Yeah.
things like that. What you said about like crying through the Monster Calls, that I remember there was a meme for this video game called The Last of Us, and it was like, how can I play the game if I can't see through the tears? Whatever sort of thing. And I remember getting quite teary. Actually, I didn't think I got teary with The Last of Us. I got teary with, there was a little DLC like expansion pack called Left Behind, I believe, and that was just like the girl called Ellie, and I got really sad. And
Well, if we're going to stray away from movies,
No, I was just going to quickly
No,
say,
no,
it,
but
but is there a
Bridge to
video? Is there a
Terabithia.
video game that
books.
as well, books
Yeah.
or video?
That
game?
was a really sad movie.
Bridge to Terabithia. When I was a kid, I read that and I was like, all right, she's dead, get over it. And then I reread it as an adult, and I was in the last like 5 to 10 pages. Page was so stained with my tears that I like had to dry it out just to finish it.
Jesus. Wow. I don't think
All right, let's get off this fucking depression.
Moving on.
Have you cried at a video game or?
Have I cried in a
Came on
video
fit?
game?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I don't get too invested in video
Yeah,
games.
you
You don't even pay attention to them.
Yeah, you don't.
Well, I mean, like,
We were
I
talking
enjoy the
about-
experience. I'm not like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
You
same
like
with-
get
it's
to
the
the
same
last
with
episode and
movies.
you're like, oh, when did that happen? It's like
big-
they foreshadowed
I
it.
do the
Like,
exact same
he
thing
just
with movies.
breezes through it. We all got like we were playing one of the Pokemons, and I was like, Felix was like, I'll put 10 hours in, and I was like, I'm gonna put 5 hours in, and then Felix like, I used the move cut, and I cut down one of the trees, and Felix was like, how do you have cut? And I was like, what do you mean? I just
How do you
I
know?
talked to one of the guys in the town. Felix was like, crap, like I've missed it. So he like had to go back and talk to everybody like to find it.
I'm not just trying to complete it for the sake of completing it. I just like
Sounds like
I
that's what you're
enjoy
doing.
the experience
Yeah.
more than like the stories behind everything. Like same with movies. Like I enjoy seeing slow-mo Transformers than I do like an amazing story.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That's
I'm kind
I'm
of...
allowed to though.
No,
so
that's
fuck
fine.
you. If you're judging me inside your little ivory towers
I am.
of enjoying stories.
all right. Let's get away from crying.
All right, who's next?